saying? Okay, yeah.
That was good. Oh, go ahead.
Do you think she's dreaming, or did it really happen during her first dream? And then, what's the difference between what happened in that one and then in the second dream of why you think?
Well, what do you think, Colin?
I think the first one could have happened, but I don't think it did. And the second one, pretty set on that she was dreaming because it said she got beaten or whatever, and I don't think that back in that time a man would have beat a woman, and then they also never say anything about her getting hurt or whatever. And then during the first one,
Well, she does say.
she said, "I will get up now and go about this city." So I think if it did happen, it was when it was a reasonable time for people to go out. Because she says all night long on my bed, so she could have like stayed up all night like thinking about him, and then got up in the morning and actually went up for him.
I think she was probably just dreaming until she went and talked to her friends, and then they went up for him. Maybe she just did that.
What do you think, Colin?
I think they're both dreams, because in the second one she gets beaten, and then when later after the dream's over, she asks, and they find Solomon. He's like, "What's going on?" And he doesn't know what's wrong with her and what's the problem.
So he went in and knocking at her door.
Yeah.
Well, he could have, and she just like slept through it. And then
Well,
he
it
didn't think
says
it was a
that-
big deal. Like
It
she
says
did.
that she was like complaining because she just got into bed and washed her feet and everything, and if he really needed to get into her house that bad or whatever, then when they finally found him, he wouldn't have been like, what's the big
Yeah.
deal? So I think that was it.
What do you think, Kate?
I think she's dreaming.
What kind of text supports that?
3
So, no.
3 and 5.
It's the 2 dreams.
Yep, 3 and 5.
Maybe.
Well, in the chapter 5 one, it like starts out saying, I slept but my heart was awake, so she's obviously dreaming.
The significance of the figurative language, I think that's just used for emphasis on like their feelings. I don't think that's really even a big deal, just emphasis on everything.
I thought maybe that's just how they
A better
talked
way to
back
just-
then.
Yeah, it's like a better way of
Shows, like-
describing things.
Yeah, it shows like you act like care more of it. It's
Oh, you look good.
like, yeah.
What is the significance of placing a seal over your heart? I said that the seal will always be there if you let it be there. It's like you can always remove the seal off or something.
Preserve, like, because that's what a seal does, so like a promise.
I thought she was like showing how she was still jealous over all the other wives, but like wanted a promise so that she knew that their love would be forever.
What do you think, Jordan?
I think it meant that they were bound with each other until death do them apart.
What do you think, Sabrina?
I agree with Molly. Yeah.
Keep going, girl.
Why do you think the author ended it the way he did?
I didn't really like the ending very much. Didn't make sense, but he could have been shooting for, well, if this was like all about love or whatever, then they could all be curious of what it's like, and then she just tells them, don't force it upon yourself.
Learning
Well-
from her mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, all throughout the story or the song or whatever, she's trying to give him advice and like none of them like really take it, and then finally at the end when successful marriage, then I'll ask her.
Yeah, it's because they're just like, they're married, so they just think she's like blowing smoke, but then at the end they actually get married, everything, and then it's just weird.
Legit. What do you think, Karen?
For the last one, yeah. I think she just saved herself until the last part, until they got married and all that. Cause she said, thus I have become in his eyes one brings contentment, so she makes him happy and he's also happy with her.
What message did the author send to the Shulamite and Solomon not having the same concern about their situation? I just said, because it would show that they're not on the same page, like every marriage, they're not always on the same page.
Part of the marriage.
I said that you need communication to work things out.
Them not sharing the same amount of concern could be a side of like individualism, them being two different people, seeing two different views.
That's like what being married is like, you have to compromise.
What did you have down?
When she says that he's like looking through the garden at the flowers or whatever, you think that he was really in a garden or looking at their one Molly?
I don't know, yeah, I guess, in a way. He could be looking at other women, but he doesn't really say he is. He says he's thinking about him, so he's probably actually in a garden.
There's like a lot of places in
Just
here
thinking
that
about
like,
her.
Yeah, so he wouldn't be looking at other women while he's thinking about his wife.
I think she just overreacted about nothing. She didn't know.
there's like a lot of places that are like really,
Confusing.
not very clear.
Why do you think they only talk about each other's appearances and not their like personalities and stuff?
Probably because they didn't know each other's like personality, they only saw each other's appearance.
Well, even throughout the entire thing, you can't get married to someone do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like Logan know that practically
Yeah, true.
What was that?
he had like enough women that it didn't really matter, so he only paid attention to looks. That's probably what he was saying about she stood out from the rest, like she was probably hotter than the rest. That's just me though.
Could be.
That's probably why he married her.
That's kind of, yeah. Like, don't even talk about
Personality.
at all. It's all like even she doesn't say anything about personality. So.
Well, like, she says she's noble. She's noble.
If I'm going to pose a question here, if you think that it's all based on looks or lust, basically, and the passion that we definitely see in there, how does that connect to the fact that the Shulamite kept giving advice about purity? How can you reconcile that? What's the message there, maybe?
Even though she wants him, she still has to like,
Religion.
yeah.
Like you still have to like follow the rules, and I'd say they did do it like right. I mean they did all like,
They may have talked about it, but they never like did it.
yeah.
And in the end, what did that mean?
If he was that made it out, he'd be okay about it.
If he was willing to like stick it out that long, then you might win or not. Other than just
And maybe like when she asked him for like the promise or whatever, or the place of seal over, that he like actually
we said, we talked about how they only talked about each other's